in that moment, I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, is this really happening right now? Like right now, like we're getting mugged in Colombia right now.
We were just here in Colombia.
My name is Pretty Next Door, and I was held in a bar against my will and extorted out here in Colombia.
I survived a kidnap attempt with my friends in Cartagena, Colombia.
We almost got kidnapped in Cartagena, Colombia.
What's going on, family? It's your man BMT with another Passportbro Reacts video. And today we have a video coming out of Medellin, Colombia. We have a young lady here that went through a pretty tragic event with her boyfriend out there in Medellin, Colombia. As some of you guys already know, I lived in Medellin for about 2 years. We are in Buenos Aires right now, going to the boxing match. And I did have somewhat of an incident out there. I will talk about that at the end of this video, but let's see what happened with her situation in Medellin.
I almost got stabbed and kidnapped in Medellin, Colombia. And here's the story on how that happened. I had my boyfriend meet me in Colombia so we can spend 5 more days, just me and him in Colombia, and enjoy the city. Me and him are having the time of our lives. And we were having so much fun until that night. We had decided to go to a nightclub. We took an Uber to the nightclub. And the entire trip, I would always tell him, like, I'm not taking taxis. I'm only taking an Uber. Like, I don't trust taxis, whatever. We go to this area in El Poblado, and if any of you know Colombia, you know El Poblado is a very, very touristy destination. Like, I did a lot of research. It's where all the tourists go. It's like the LA of Colombia. It's supposed to be safe. So we're in the El Poblado area, in Medellin, and we're in this area where it's a strip of restaurants and nightclubs.
It's never really just safe in El Poblado, because a lot of times these barrios, they have rules of, you know, no robbing and no stealing. Go to actual El Poblado to take advantage of tourists, to commit crimes against tourists. So you're not really truly safe. I know it's popping. There's a lot of people out there, so you assume because there's so many police, so many people that's out there that's safe. But you gotta think that, you know, Medellin is like almost like in the middle of a forest. So it's a lot of little alleyways, little duck offs and everything like that people can kind of catch you at. Because people do get robbed in these areas on those little side streets and everything like that. So you still got to be careful, but it does give a tourist a false sense of security because there's so many people out there.
And all of a sudden, it started pouring rain. Tell me why we waited for an hour and a half for this rain to stop, and it wouldn't stop. Point is, we saw everybody running towards the cabs. There's a designated area for the taxi driver. We go up to the taxis. There's one guy out of his taxi, and he's waving. He's like, taxi? And I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll take that one.
You definitely want to avoid taxis at all costs if you can. But if you do get a reputable taxi, get his number. You know, they pretty much around the same little, you know, area of that Poblado area. That's pretty much kind of where they work at. Have somebody's number so you can call if Uber's not available, so you at least know that's a pretty reputable taxi.
Guy starts speaking Spanish, and I don't understand a word of Spanish. Okay, I know the common things. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Well, I think he's asking me for the address. So I go to Google, I put the address of the hotel on my phone, and I hand my phone to him. He takes my phone, he's like, okay. And he starts driving. I didn't think anything of it. 1 minute goes by, and I'm like, babe, don't you think it's kind of weird that he still has my phone? And he's like, yeah, he's probably just using it for GPS. So I was like,
Red flag number one. I actually had a friend of mine, real close friend of mine, that did the exact same thing. Never, ever give your phone to the taxi drivers, not even the Uber drivers, guys. All right, I suggest using the Wise app because they do have like little roadblocks and everything, and sometimes them roadblocks or, you know, them little police checkpoints can be like shakedown checkpoints. So you definitely want to kind of pop that up. I know when I'm in an Uber, or even if I just have to take a taxi, I'll throw on that app and I tell them, because Wise app actually shows you where the police checkpoints are. A friend of mine gave his phone to the taxi driver, Drove to destination, which was literally about 5 minutes away, right up the hill, straight shot. So you can literally just say, hey man, just keep straight. And I'll tell you when to turn derecho. You know, I'll tell you where to turn right here, right here. That's the best way to go about it. But he gave his phone to the taxi driver. They get to destination. He gets out the car. And when he turns around to get his phone back, the taxi driver takes off with his cell phone. Another incident with another friend of mine, the guy gets out the back of the taxi, has his book bag with his drone, his cameras and everything. And before he can even grab his book bag, taxi driver takes off with his stuff. Do never, ever give your phone to the taxi driver.
And then I look over and I tried to see the meter, and I noticed the meter on the taxi was not on. I'm like, that's a red flag, okay? Now he's totally gonna try to like scam us out of more money.
I believe after midnight, all the taxi drivers turn off their meters, so that's pretty normal.
And as we're driving, he starts talking Spanish to us. And I noticed that he takes us on the freeway, which is weird because we didn't need to take a freeway to get to our hotel. Our hotel is like a 5-minute drive. No freeway needed. Honestly, we could have walked home. We walked around that area during the daytime too. It was fine, but it was just raining so hard. So when I asked him, I'm like, how much do we owe you? And then I turned on the mic and I held it up to him. He took the phone out of my hands. He took my man's phone out of my hands. Went on his phone, put $200,000, well, 200,000 pesos on the calculator and showed me. And I was like, 200,000? I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. And I told my man, I'm like, it should only take 20,000 pesos to get us there. As we're driving, he pulls over to the side of the freeway. And keep in mind, people in Colombia, they drive like crazy, okay? They drive like crazy. There's bikes everywhere, mopeds, like it's okay? Pulls over to the side, turns around, reaches back, grabs my man's, goes inside my man's pocket. He grabbed his arm off his pocket, threw it off. He's like, yo, what the? And I looked at him and I'm like, what the? What are you doing? Like, and then he starts saying something in Spanish. And he's pointing at the phone with the 200,000. And my man's like, yo, relax, we'll pay you, relax, we'll pay you. All of a sudden, he pulls out a knife and turns around and swings it at my man. I tried to punch him on the head with his other hand, and my man's blocking his punches. In that moment, I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, is this really happening right now? Like right now, like we're getting robbed? We're getting mugged in Colombia right now? And this guy has my phone? And then he makes another swing at my man and my man blocks it. And in that moment, I'm watching him swinging and I'm like, I'm okay with getting stabbed. I was ready to get stabbed at that moment. But when I look back at it, I think it was just, I was in so much shock.
Listen, when I was in Medellin, Colombia, I carried mace. I'll be honest with you. I know people be like, oh, you a guy, you got mace or pepper spray? Yeah, I would carry mace, pepper spray, and at times I had a knife on me. I'm just going to be honest with you.
So I start to plead with the man. I'm like, please, I'll give you anything you want. I'll give you money. You want money? I'll give you money. Please, just give me my phone. I'll give you money. Whatever you want, you can have it. I just need my phone. Please. This guy's not going to give me shit. He's not giving me my phone back. So as I was trying to plead with him, he started screaming something in Spanish, and I had no idea what he was saying. And then he made a swing at me, and he tried to stab me. And when he was swinging, he was going like this. But his whole body was twisted, and he was trying to stab me. I start screaming bloody murder. I jump up on the seat. My man is blocking all the swings this guy's trying to make. He keeps trying to grab him by the elbow and by the wrist. So then he's like, baby, we need to get out. Let's go. And he told the guy, he's like, don't worry. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're getting out. We're leaving. He opens the door to get out because I can't get out on my side. The traffic is coming this way and people are driving like crazy. If I get out, I could get hit by a car very easily. He opens the door. He puts his leg out of the car. He's got all his weight on the leg that's out of the car because he's about to lift his other leg to get out. And tell me why this cab driver bangs on the gas, steps on the gas as fast as he could, and he tried to drive off with me in the car. It was not there.
She seems like she's just so concerned about the cell phone. The cell phone is lost. The cell phone was lost as soon as you gave it to him. That's number one. Number two, if you're a content creator, then you should have iCloud or something. Everything's being uploaded to the cloud or Google Cloud or something. So, all your memories should be stored in the cloud. If you're a content creator, that's what I suggest, because I know people have a lot of content on their phone that could be valuable. So I understand why she would want her phone, but your life is 10 times more important than your phone. But this is just not it. The story gets even crazier. Hold on.
As we got out of the car, he hops back into the car and he speeds off. And now I'm in fetal position on the freeway and I'm rocking back and forth. I'm like, oh my God, baby, he took my phone. Baby, he took my phone. He took my phone. He's like, it's okay. It's okay. Come on. We need to get you off this freeway. We need to get you off. It's dangerous. And he grabs me by my arm and he's pulling me on the side of the freeway. I'm crying. I'm in distress. It's pouring rain. My makeup looks like it. I'm dressed decent. I got jeans on and a cute top. And then all of a sudden, there's a guy on the side of the road who stops by to help us. Some shirtless guy, a Colombian guy. Didn't speak a word of English either. I'm trying to I'm freaking out. Okay, I'm in distress. Then 3 other cars on the side of the freeway pull over because they saw me with my man in distress. And the guys were looking at my man and they're making fists and they're like pissed at him. They think that he hit me. A cop stops too, that was in a motorcycle. He's asking me what's wrong. I'm trying to explain. I'm in distress. I'm speaking English. They're all speaking Spanish. They don't understand a word I'm saying. At one point, the cars start honking. They're getting pissed because we're stopping the freeway traffic. The cop tells me to move over to the side. Go, go, go. So I'm like, okay, okay. My man pulls me. He took us to the side. The cars all left. The cop left. He didn't give a f. The only person that was left was that shirtless Colombian guy that was on the side of the road. But you know what? While those cars were there and they were all asking me what's wrong and I was trying to explain what was wrong and I was in distress, I was holding my purse and I noticed the Colombian guy on the side of the road had his hands in my purse. He was trying to rob me while I was telling them the story of how we got robbed. And my man's like, don't worry, baby, he's gonna help us. I'm like, no, baby. I'm like, we gotta get away. I don't trust this guy. I don't trust this man. He's like, no, baby, it's okay. He's gonna help us. I'm like, no, 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 no. No, he had his hands in my purse. He's like, what? So he grabs me by my arm and we ran.
All right, so as you can see, this shirtless, I think she meant shirtless guy, was trying to basically get what he could out of her purse. And for reference, guys, most of the cops, it's not, they're not going to do anything for the most part. They feel like you're a gringo. Just go back to America. At least you got your life. You can go make more money. It's real down here.
As we're running, I look back and I see he's following us. This guy is following us. Then I look back again. He stops following us and he's making a phone call. Weird. We get to the nearest gas station, we walk in, we grab a water, put the water there, I throw some money. I'm like, please, we need help. We need help. I need you to call my hotel. And we're trying to explain to them and they're pretending that they don't speak any English. Eventually, when they realized, we were crying and distressed after standing there for like 5 minutes trying to get someone to help us, the guy starts speaking English. He's like, do you want me to call you a taxi? I'm like, no taxi. Called an Uber picked us up. We got to the hotel. The concierge was waiting for us there. He gave me a blanket. He gave me tea. They were very sweet about it. And he called the police so the police could come take a statement. All they did was listen. They didn't really take a statement. They basically said, you have to take the loss. We can't get your phone back. We can't go to that area. I ended up calling Air Canada. I changed my flight to leave earlier. We literally left the next day at 6 a.m. I paid an extra $1,000 for that. I would have paid an extra $5K just to get out of that country at that moment.
If you get your phone stolen and you happen to have another phone or a tablet, I always recommend going with a burner phone. You want to clean off all your financial apps right away. You want to call the bank right away and say, hey, my phone got stolen. If it's any money missing out my account, freeze my accounts, everything. Now, as far as my incident that happened to me, I was in Central. A friend of mine called me. He said, hey, man, I'm down here in Central and some guys are showing me around. Now, my friend didn't really have a lot of street smarts. So I was like, hey, man, what you mean they're showing you around? He said, oh, man, they're protecting me. I said, you know, you don't have to pay for protection to walk around downtown. You know, it was some Venezuelan guys. So I went down there and I was like, hey man, we're gonna walk the other way, basically. And the two Venezuelan guys were just like, oh no, we just doing our thing. And I'm like, nah man, we're gonna walk, we just gonna walk the other way. As I get my friend and we start walking the other way, all of a sudden a woman says, he's recorded. I'm like, what? Because I had my cell phone in my hand because I didn't want my cell phone to get pickpocketed. I had one of those, the little jogging pants. So I'm like, nah, I'm going to have my cell phone in my hand. So she claimed that I was recording. And I'm just sitting here like, man, whatever, right? So, we continue to walk. And something tells me in my head just to kind of duck off, like into this little, this little cafe. So we go in the cafe. And once we get in the cafe, we get surrounded by about 8 other guys, and they're barking at me in Spanish about give them my cell phone because I was recording. I took video, and they're like, give me your phone, and I was like, bro, I ain't take no video, and I'm not giving you my phone. So these guys started surrounding me, and in my head, I'm looking for my friend. I don't see where my friend is at right now, so I'm just like, oh snap. Luckily, it was an Afro-Colombian. Shout out to him. I don't know the name of the cafe or anything, but it was a black Colombian that came from around the corner and said, hey, man, this guy doesn't know what you guys are saying. He's a gringo. He's not, he's not Colombian. He said he wasn't recording. Guys, get out of here. Basically, get out of here. And they were still kind of like, on me. They weren't really in my face, but they were definitely surrounding me. And I was like, oh, snap. So he pushes the guys out. And that's when I see my friend all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, where you went? And we started to go. And I remember one of the guys telling me, hey, if you get in trouble in Colombia, just go to the middle of the street and wait on your car in the middle of the street. So I go outside, with my friend, and we in the middle of the street, and I'm able to just wave down a random taxi. And I know you're not supposed to technically take taxis. You try to avoid them, but I couldn't wait on the Uber at that time. It was 2 more Venezuelan guys that kind of came up to me, and they were like, hey, man, it's all good, no problem, bro. Like, they were trying to play this little cat and mouse game, this good guy, nice guy game, trying to calm me down. Like, hey, bro, you good, everything like that. But in my head, I'm like, nah, I don't want to stay away, stay far from me, as possible, So we get in the taxi, we head back to the Poblado area, everything, worked out. But I'm saying it to say, guys, you got to be careful in Colombia. At one point, people were saying, oh, guys are going out there getting drugged and robbed because they're participating in certain activities. But those people don't understand poverty. They don't understand violence. They don't understand streets, all right? The streets don't care, right? Whether you male or female. And at one point, yeah, it was women going out to Colombia on girl trips without incident. Look at TikTok today.
We were just robbed here in Colombia.
My name is Pretty Next Door, and I was held in a bar against my will and extorted out here in Colombia.
I survived a kidnap attempt with my friends in Cartagena, Colombia.
We almost got kidnapped in Cartagena, Colombia.
All right, it is South America. Poverty is real out there. All right, so you got to be paying attention to your surroundings. You got to know these things. If you know somebody down there that is boots on the ground, that's been living out there for a while, that helps a lot. But you definitely got to be careful anywhere. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace. What's good, family? Make sure to check out the official Passport Bros merch store.